going crazy. We at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get swayzy. I just got off with a jet and I cry. I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Shot back, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Ushu Bench and I hop in the...
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. 2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Heath. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 3.
It's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Mayfield. Caught. This is Ivory. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in second down. The Lions had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
From the 31, Mayfield. This is caught by Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 27. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Open man right side is Sharp. And outbounds right around the 20. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And that was going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Antonio Gibson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Vikings now to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes... And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Heath. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Heath. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you can get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The first, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. A call on luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Heath. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Following the interception, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That's out to the flat for Gibson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. He finds Ivory here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Heath. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First down, Mayfield. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Quick throw, and Mayfield completes it. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second down at 5.
Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Badgley on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Heath. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Heath. This pass complete to Higgins. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off-play action. Heath. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Lions will take over here just shy of the 30.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
Mayfield on 1st down. Connecting here with Chark on the out route. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Well, this will wind up the Lions' 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Mayfield down. This one left side caught by Gibson. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Mayfield with it once more. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. That one complete. He finds Sharp. Down inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. That's once again complete to Chark. And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and goal. Mayfield toward the pylon, caught, and in for the Lions touchdown. A A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Heath. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Heath. He's got Smith here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Obviously, this has not been a Bama game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 35. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
That pass is caught by Hardy. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. On the counter, Hunt. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, Heath. It's hauled in by Hardy. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Heath. Open man is Higgins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Heath. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting addled.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Mayfield to throw it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Mayfield now on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Now, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Heath. This is caught. It's Hardy. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Heath. And it'll be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple. From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught on the right side, Williams. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Now Mayfield running left on the option. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On second and 9, Mayfield. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Mayfield. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Brian Asamoah with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy, because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really? Should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him, because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
A 46-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They go play action here. Mond on the move to his left. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Off the play fake, Mond. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a first down.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far. But you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Mond, a quick throw, complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He goes once again right back to Hardy. Touchdown, Vikings! Deontay Hardy from 3 yards out. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it makes the score 21-10.
Vikings 10. Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. Right side to Williams. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Wentz going to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop in for an 8-yard loss. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Here's Mon. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off the game.
5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. To throw, it's Wentz. Throws out left, it's caught by Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Gibson. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Antonio Gibson, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He finds his man, complete. That's Hardy. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Third down from the gun, it's Mon. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph, and the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out and let it fly, but the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else. It makes a dramatic play.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
And they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing on first is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head and not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Wentz going to try and run again. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Badgley able to punch this one through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now Mon. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. They're in the fourth quarter in Denver, and it's the Bucs that have taken the lead there late. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Here we go.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Mon going to throw it. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
That one 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fourth down, 4th quarter. Here's Mond. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Here we go.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Mon looks to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Here we go. Here we go.
Second down and goal. Mon. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Mon. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Detroit, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at